Good morning, guys. My name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing. So in this episode, we're going to show you guys how to install a ceramic coating on white paint. So you may notice we're somewhere different. Where are we? We're at Ralda's Details. So we have Tony over there, we got Julian over there, and he has this beautiful Audi A8, it is?
A8, yeah.
A8, and it's in for, basically Tony's kind of a new car prep service, so paint enhancement and ceramic coatings. So we're going to talk about ceramic coatings and how to apply it onto white paint like this, because sometimes it can be a challenge, because white paint can be a challenge anyway because you can't see. So we're going to share with you 3 tips on how to apply ceramic coatings on white paint. And this can also work for even light colored paint, like light silvers and beige colors. Guys, if you're enjoying videos like this, and I hope you are, consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss stuff. So let's get started. So as you saw, the prep is important. The washing, the deconning, now it's in and we're drying everything. Make sure to dry everything as much as possible. Blow drying, towel drying. You don't want any water in these cracks and crevices when you get to ceramic coating, because that can definitely cause some trouble. So make sure that everything is bone dry. Now let's take a look at the paint. So as you can see, it has some pretty heavy swirling. So we're going to reduce that. Try to get, above 50 to 75% and really clear this up. We want a lot of that major swirling and hazing out of the paint. We want it to look nice and crystal clear as much as possible. So that's important. Make sure that you have the paint looking as good as possible. Now, is removing swirls an absolute must for a ceramic coating? No, it isn't. This is simply for visual appeal. Talk to your customer and make sure that they know what they're getting. And if you want to sell a full paint correction, great. If you just want to do a paint enhancement, explain that to the customer. If they don't care about swirls at all, and they're adamant as to not caring about polishing, they just want protection and ceramic coating, at that point, then you can do whatever you need to do to prep the paint, make sure that it is nice and clean. And if you want to do a light polish, just to chemically clean the paint or mechanically clean it, then you can do that too. Yeah, this paint is hard white, Audi paint. Yep. All right, so we're polishing, and let's give you an example of what we're doing here as far as paint enhancement. Now, you can see heavy swirls there, right? That's all over the vehicle. We move over here, and they're diminished greatly. I would say 50% plus. There's some deeper things in here. However, when you pull this vehicle out into the sun, you're not going to see that anymore. It's going to be nice and clear. Even with these high-powered lights, customers don't have these types of high-powered lights, and they're not going to examine their vehicle like we do. So these artificial lights, all these lights here, they bring out the defects much more than natural sunlight. It's true. It's weird, but that's how it works. So we use these like surgical lights to really examine the paint, make sure that we're getting it to our standard, and then when we pull it out into the sun, it's going to look beautiful. So here's the 3 tips that you want to keep in mind when you're applying a ceramic coating. This is one of the first ones, lighting. Make sure that you have good lighting. These handheld lights I view as invaluable. Make sure you have plenty of handheld lights, keep them charged, because you're going to use them not only in the polishing process, but in the coating process, as you will see. The second tip is towels. Have plenty of towels. For polishing and compounding, people have their favorites when it comes to towels. We'll show you that these Kirkland towels are amazing for coating removal. And then the third tip is going to be the applicators. So we'll show you that when we get to the ceramic coating part. So let's continue polishing. All right, now everything is polished and it's looking beautiful. For Audi paint, any of the German vehicles, the clear coat is going to be pretty hard. So it's looking great now. All the swirls are reduced and it looks much better than it did before. Those heavy swirls are gone. So now that the paint is looking good, let's go ahead and apply our coating. Now these tips are going to apply to any coating you want to choose. We're going to use a specific one that Tony uses in his shop, but apply this to any of the coatings that you want to use. You're going to see the process, how we apply it, give you some of those tips. Remember those 3 tips. Good lighting, you want to have good towels as well and plenty of them, and your applicator is also going to make a difference. We're going to use a new applicator today as well. So let's get started on this half of the hood. So with the applicator we're using today, we're using this one. It's a coating saver applicator. It's a little chunkier, a little bigger than some of the smaller ones, but it has a plastic liner inside. So it will save on your coating a little bit if that's something you're concerned about. So here's how we're going to apply the coating on the paint. Again, this goes with any coating. This coating that we're going to use here, the flashing effects and the wipe off is a little different than, say, the G-Technic coatings, the CarPro coatings. It's a little tacky when you're wiping it off, and it doesn't separate like the G-Technic coatings. It does kind of do a rainbow effect. So we try to catch that on camera, because again, we're working with white paint. So let's go ahead and apply it onto the paint, and we'll show you the process. So we're going to try to keep in a smaller controlled area. So we already did this section over here. So what I'm going to do is box out an area like so. I'll go in a diagonal form, and then I'm going to kind of color in that box and make sure that I'm getting even coverage. So I'll cross hatch. And it's okay if you extend the borders a little bit. You're going to do the same thing when you wipe the product off or level it. So this product goes on very smooth. And let's see if we can catch it starting to rainbow in the light. It can be hard to see on white paint. Ooh, right here. See it right here on this angle. Can you see it?
A little bit.
Yep. So that's what you're looking for this coating. So it's either going to rainbow like this, or it's going to start to separate into little lines. Either way, that's when you know that it's ready to remove. So we have 2 towels. This is going to be my first wipe, and I have a second wipe towel. So let's go ahead and begin the leveling. And you can go in circular motions and crosshatch motions. Basically, it's leveling it and it's making the carrier fluids evaporate quicker. So that's now done. I'll fold it, go back into my pocket. Now I'm going to take my second towel and my handheld light and hold it high above your head so you have a good angle. And you're just going to wipe the perimeter again. Wipe the area very gently. Work around the perimeter and just catch any stray little high spots that might show up on the paint. And you're going to feel, with this coating in particular, it's a grabby one, it's a little tacky. So just let the towel glide on the paint without putting pressure. But use that light to make sure that all of the rainbowing and the residue is gone. And just look around the perimeter with your light, because you will see the little rainbow residue if it is a high spot that's left. So some coatings are slicker than others, and you'll just have to do a test spot and see what type of coating it is. Is it going to be a slightly tacky coating that rainbows, or is it going to be a slicker coating that kind of starts to separate? Either way, have your lights and make sure that you can see the coating properly, especially on this white paint. All right, guys, so let's go over those 3 tips again, and we have a 4th bonus tip for you. First tip is make sure to have good lighting, whether in your shop like this. Handheld lights are also important, so make sure to grab some of these handheld lights because you're going to need them. The second point is microfiber towels. Now we're using these Kirkland towels. You can use whatever towels you want. We found that shorter nap towels are the best for coatings. And the Kirkland towels have really improved. So you can grab these, they're pretty inexpensive. But if you get a package of Kirkland towels and they feel crunchy and hard, return them and get a new package. Sometimes they just miss quality control. But these are very affordable and they work really well. The third tip is going to be your applicators. So whether the coating comes with its own little applicator, if you like that, that's great. I am going to suggest these microfiber types of applicators, either in the little brick like this or the round ones that you see me use a lot. If you want to get coating savers, they're great too. If you're new to coatings, it'll help you save coatings. But once you get more experience in coatings, you really don't need these as much. I have the little round ones that aren't coating savers, and I still can get away with having almost half a bottle or more of coating left in, say, a 30 ml bottle. So you'll get used to the coating application the more that you apply them. So a 4th tip we want to share with you that actually Tony brought up was using flat lighting or frosted lighting. So we have some on the ceiling, and we're going to show you some B-roll of that, of the differences between the spotlights and the frosted lights. But you can pick up a light bar like this. They're actually used for photography. But this will have different colors, of course, but we'll just go to the regular white color that we want. And you can turn up or down the brightness, but notice how it changes the look of the paint and of the coating. You can see the rainbowing effect, and you can see how it actually brings out different defects in the paint. You can see the orange peel a little bit more. So it's good to have not just good lighting, but a variety of good lighting. Now these are fairly inexpensive, but again, good to have. They're actually very useful for interior detailing as well. So you can grab one of these. I'll have all the links down below to the different handheld lights that work really well on white paint and on all paint. But those 3 tips, with the 4th bonus tip about the frosted lighting, it's really going to help you apply coatings. If you can apply coatings on a white vehicle like this, then you can definitely apply coatings onto any other darker colored vehicle. It just makes things that much easier. So guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys learned some stuff from those 4 tips on how to apply ceramic coating onto a white vehicle. It sometimes can be a challenge, but again, if you follow those 4 tips, it'll certainly help you apply any type of coating. In fact, they're just 4 simple tips on how to apply ceramic coatings, especially on white vehicles. Once again, any of the products or the tools that you're interested in, check out the links down below. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great week. And also, thank you to Tony for hosting this video and having me over to work on this Audi. Take care, guys.